guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fitzrupee Cast featuring Company of Heroes. Red-Rupee here calling the shots for you as always. And right now I'm probably up to my neck in the madness that is MAGfest, but I figured I'd pre-record one last video and release it over the weekend to keep you guys occupied in my absence. We are overlooking the graveyard in the map Argenton Crossroads, which is a map crafted and honed by the skilled hands of White Flash Reborn, and currently being used in the Sunday Night Fights mega tournament that's happening right now. This is a match from the 4th qualifier tournament, the 4th and final. There are only a few episodes of Sunday Night Fights left, so be sure to check that out. I'll put a link in the description. You can check them out at companyofheroes2.org. They've got a YouTube channel and, of course, stream their episodes live on Twitch TV. So anyways, let's go ahead, take a look around. Amipoli Zyfunk mentioned this match in his cast on Sunday, so I figured I'd check the map out, or the match out rather, and we're going to check the map out right now. Taking a look at the tactical map, you can see there are cutoffs on all of the road points. The road is crucial to hold if you want to hold the rest of your points, particularly this cutoff right here and this one right here. Both control the medium, high munitions, and the other 3 points out on this side of the map, so these are going to be the primary spots for cutoff play. If you look around on the map, you can see in the center of the map by the center VP, we've got these 2 strong houses on either side. There are lots of hedgerows kind of dividing the map in half, lots of sight blockers for long-range weapons, AT guns, stuff for vehicles to hide behind, things like that. By the eastern and western VPs, you can see there's a lot of green cover around, good for firefights on either side. Of course, the graveyard's full of green cover, lots of stone walls, and of course the gravestones themselves, things like that. So that'll pretty much be the map as it is right now. We'll have to see how the game plays out and how these various factors contribute to how the game's played. Anyways, we've got, as I mentioned before, Cepha on the red side as the Wehrmacht player, and then on the blue side we have Mr. Tourney of Macaroni as the US player. So let's go ahead, get this game started, and see what's going on. So far, I think the Wehrmacht have been more favored in this particular map. If you go check out Sunday Night Fights, they actually have a pretty cool little statistics page that actually shows the win and loss percentage of various players and the win percentage of various factions on the particular maps they've been using in the tournament. So that's all pretty cool stuff. Definitely a fine production by those folks. 2 engineers coming out right now, and I'm sure probably some rifles soon to follow. Cepha's heading on out to his first fuel. Really, we've been tending to see the map kind of cut horizontally across the center road. It's normally north and south, but sometimes the map folds to east to west. Either way, it tends to get cut right along this roads, which is pretty cool because I'm pretty sure that's how the map's intended, and it's really nice as a map designer when you can craft a map to be played a certain way, and that's eventually how the players use it throughout the battles. So a pair of Pioneers and some Volks hitting the field for Ceph right now. Rifles now moving up to the north from Mr. Macaroni.
Time to kill some krauts.
And all is quiet on all the fronts right now. It looks like these Pios are actually not keeping the point. I hate it when that happens. You send a squad down to a point, and for some reason, there they go. They are starting to cap it now. Wire going down in a pretty common location. We've seen this pretty consistently from the Wehrmacht players. You can cut this off and force the rifles to move out into the center. And if you have an MG or an MG bunker, something like that placed right here, it really denies the Americans the ability to kind of move up to this side of the map from more than either past this hedgerow or over from the roadside. Got our first little engagement right here. Volk's trying to capture that fuel point. Looks like they're going to be able to get it. Rifles not as effective at this kind of longer range fight. The Volks would normally win this fight actually at this range, but luckily for the rifles they are in some nice green cover, which negates most of the damage they'd be taking. Rifle's going to fall back, capture the point right now. Another squad of rifles on the field moving up through the center. And that's always something to note in these early game pushes. Note how these kind of players tend to move their rifles early on. A lot of people kind of bunch their rifles up and move them in, but from the second those rifles come out, the American player, Mr. Macaroni here, knows that he has to move those gentlemen up from different angles and really push up on these Volksgrenadiers from different sides. That way, if an MG is on the field, he'll be able to flank it in the first engagement and not be completely suppressed and locked down by that. Engineers placing an aggressive mine there in enemy territory as the rifles push back these two squads of Volksgrenadiers. There is an MG42 on the field. It's kind of hanging back, baiting the rifles to move in a little bit. Macaroni kind of senses that apparently and is deciding to fall back. Doesn't want to push in too close to the base anyways. What he wants to do is hold this cutoff. If he can hold this and keep it at least uncapped as he has right now, that'll be plenty effective enough as far as this first engagement goes. In the meantime, if you look at the southern part of the map, there's just been Pyos capping down there uncontested. So it looks like, take a quick look down, rifles finally showed up down there, a third squad of rifles to push them off, but Cepha's gotten quite a bit of that side of the map in the meantime. MG coming out with a vengeance. Managed to hold back all those rifles. MG's trying to get the decap. I'm not sure if Macaroni's watching. He's about to lose them if he's not. They're retreating, but it might be too late. Two squads of Volks and an MG actually keeping those MGs tied up while they're trying to retreat, and down they go. Too many men to even retreat through right there for those last two engineers. MG packs up and decides to move in on these riflemen who are hiding behind green cover. They'll be able to hold out there for a while and at least stall out these Volks and MG for a little while. Just about any time you can keep a squad tying up three other squads with minimal losses, I mean, that's definitely worth its weight in gold here. Stalling and buying time is definitely a viable strategy. I'm not sure actually why they moved out from behind that green cover for the time being, but if he had left those behind there, they wouldn't have lost as many models. Wehrmacht mines going down right next to the American mines over here. Another set of mines, lots of mines going down already. And a Wehrmacht sniper on the field. We've got the infamous Volks sniper MG build on the field right now. Rifles hanging out up top. Sniper's trying to find a good spot to move in. He's staying revealed right now. He's not under any threat of an American sniper right yet. Knows he can kind of just run around at his leisure and pick off rifles wherever he can until he's at least a little while. Once that first Wehrmacht sniper comes out, he knows there's likely not a weapon support center up and can kind of roam freely for a bit. Macaroni's managed to take back this eastern part of the map here for himself, has the VPs well in his control, and after that first initial push, he's, I think, doing pretty well. He's got all four of his rifle squads out now. Sniper's getting ready to... Oh my goodness! Sniper just hit a mine! That American mine that was placed so early on. Totally worth dropping that mine. Oh my goodness, mines can win and lose games, and losing snipers to mines is always so brutal. There's a squad of rifles that were valiantly trying once again to hold, but they were up here by themselves against far too much. Pyro's dropping some more mines on that victory point up there. Another mine, American mine, goes off over here. Does some damage to the Pyos and the Volksgrenadiers, allowing the rifles to now push in on that remaining squad. Rifles now moving in from both sides. Cepha recognizes the threat, just decides to fall back now, hopping inside the house to try to get a nice view of the surrounding area. A lot of I see players on the high end do that a lot more than the low end, but it's always worth it to hop in the buildings in this game, and really it increases your view range quite a bit and allows you to kind of scout out the area around that immediate bunker. So, pair of mines over here on this side of the map. Both players at this point, I think, are really going to have to get minesweepers if they don't want to lose anything else. Cepha's already lost that sniper and an engagement over here due to mines. And I feel like at this point both players are probably a little wary of those battlefield booby traps. Volk's kind of poking and prodding, scouting and seeing what's back there. 12 rifles huddled around this one car here. That's kind of funny. It's funny how the cover is used in this game sometimes, just thinking about 6 men hiding behind one car. And we're seeing that exact kind of horizontal north and south split right now that I was mentioning before that we commonly see on Argenton Crossroads. Macaroni's got a couple command points banked right now. We'll have to see what faction he decides to go for. I think primarily in Sunday Night Fights we've been seeing pretty much infantry. Seen a bit of airborne, but very little armor. Rifle's about to hit that mine hard. Oh my goodness. Conrad throwing his face on those mines. I always feel like it's Conrad that trips on his shoelaces and falls on the mines. Oh my gosh, another mine going down, picking apart these rifleman squads as they're trying to flank this MG. Flamer MG's moving in to do some damage. They might not get out of that arc of fire. They're doubling back indecisively, and it's just right into the middle of the MG's arc of fire. They should have tried to just continue pushing up. More rifles hitting mines on this side of the map. Oh my goodness. There are just no full-strength rifles at all on the map right now. This rifle squad may actually go down if he's not careful. Oh my goodness. Down goes one of the rifle squads. There is an M8 on the field. A Greyhound's pushing up into enemy territory after the rifles have cleared out all of those mines with their faces. The M8 doesn't have too much to be afraid of, I suppose. There are Grenadiers up here with Panzerschreck, and the first shot connects pretty nicely. Definitely deters that Greyhound from pushing in on that MG by itself. Volks Grenadiers getting the cap on the VP right now, 488 to 428. Macaroni doing a great job of holding map and VPs. Losing that rifle is going to set him back a little bit though, and all of his squads are just very beat up. I'm not sure if he's got a triage center up. Yeah, he's definitely going to need it. He's building it right now. Obviously the motor pool is going here. M8 now putting its shock value to use as it's pushing around all of these Wehrmacht squads on all sides of the map. As soon as they spot it, the Volks Grenadiers have no choice but to fall back. They could Faust, I'm sure, but that on its own, probably not worth it. He's got the Shrek Grenadiers. And I'm not sure he has the munitions to spare it with all of those mines that he's been laying.
Tally ho, we're good to go.
Operation posts report we are losing a sector.
So I'd be really surprised. I mean, he only has one squad of engineers right now, but I think Macaroni really needs to get a second and get a minesweeper on it. All of those mines, I think those mines at least hit 2 or 3 rifle squads, and when you can't engage with full health squads, you're just going to start taking crazy manpower losses throughout the map. And of course, upon spotting that Greyhound, that Kriegsbarracks got right to work and popped out a PAX-38 anti-tank gun. But as I mentioned before, I feel like this is a great map for vehicles because of these hedgerows and buildings. Lots of sight blockers to really allow your vehicles to kind of patrol around on your side of the map and at least play defensively, which I feel like once you get past this sort of mid-game shock moment of the Greyhound's life, that's kind of what it's used for. It's kind of used defensively to kind of prevent capping. You can't really send it into enemy territory because a pack will tear it apart if it's caught out of position. And along with Panzerfaust and, of course, the Grenadiers with Shreks, it's not going to be long-lived if it pushes too hard. So Greyhound's hanging back at maximum range right now. That's generally how you see those Greyhounds used in high-level play. Just keep them as far back as you possibly can. And just continue to pour shells and MG fire into the infantry. Pioneers defiantly capturing that point under rifle fire. In the meantime, Greyhounds continuing to pick off Volks and Grenadiers all over the place. Rifle's gonna win this engagement, I'm pretty sure. Volks do finally fall back. I think there's... Are there 2 or 3 squads of Volks right now? I think there are 3. and one squad of grenadiers. Of course, the MG sniper died. That's one of the things I don't like. Hopefully Company Heroes 2 will have a more up-to-date replay system where I can watch both sides at the same time. I don't really like to switch between the two sides as I'm solo casting. I'll just have to get someone else to come along and help me out with that. Anyways, look at these rifles sneaking way up here. Gonna flank this MG. Grenadiers hiding around this corner with their Shreks, daring that Greyhound to push around. Rifles, however, still going behind this MG42. The pack's moving back, spots the rifles that are trying to move in and hunt it down. If that pack goes down, the M8 will really be able to just maraud through the countryside on its own without any real deterrent.
Ready to roll.
Capping going on all over the map. Right now, Rifles again snagging that cutoff. Macaroni's been doing a great job of getting in there, hitting that cutoff. It wasn't for long, but anytime you can cut off that point, I mean, that's 4 resource points, and it's most of the larger ones. Grenade going in on those rifles, but Macaroni's paying attention. Cepha pushing wherever he can. Doing a good job of causing manpower bleed. Those mines at the beginning, and now these Volks with Vet 1 gonna start getting the fire advantage on these rifles. Another mine goes off, not taking out many rifles, but doing heavy health damage. M8 Greyhound now moving in, trying to support the couple rifle squads that are left out here. This 5-man rifle squad still staying on the field. It's going to have to be very careful. If it takes any hits at all, it's going to start taking some heavy casualties here. Engineers trying to lay a mine. I'm not sure if they're going to get it down. Lose a model, lose a second, have to fall back, and I don't think the mine went down at all. American Sniper on the field, obviously weapons support center here now for Mr. Macaroni. And we've got a Puma on the field, some Tier 3 coming in from the Wehrmacht player Cepha. Rifles trying to cap that side of the map. The Puma's moving in on everything right now, though. Greyhound's gonna be able to deal with that pretty easily. Sniper's starting to pick off Grenadiers, and a pack shot comes in, does some heavy damage to that Greyhound.
Taking casualties.
Oh my goodness.
Our front lines are collapsing.
And oh no, the Sniper's actually moving in on this mine. Don't hit the... Oh no! Oh, his legs got blown clean off. Poor American Sniper. That's 2 snipers down to mines now. Oh, that's such an unfortunate happenstance once you lose snipers to mines. Oh, that's 1 for each player, though. And we finally do have a minesweeper on the field for Macaroni. He's fed up with the mines. MG moved down here, though. Cepha doing a good job keeping that MG from being in one location. After he got flanked by the rifles up top, he decided to send it down to the southern VP. M8 now moving in, however. It's getting repaired up. It's got to be very careful. One Panzerfaust could be all she wrote. And 5 CPs sitting right now for Mr. Macaroni. We'll have to see what he's going for here. Actually, oh my goodness, there's a tank depot up.
Mechanized has their orders.
And oh, there goes the VPs as I mentioned it right here. Going Armor Company, actually. He spent 4 of his VPs, so he got Raid and Allied War Machine. And he already has a Sherman coming out on the field, so that's going to hit pretty hard. There are 2 Pumas on the field right now from Cepha. So that Sherman's going to come out with a vengeance. Obviously, Macaroni was fast-teching that armor. He has no rifle upgrades at all. He doesn't have stickies, grenades, bars. He's really going to need those bars soon, I think. As we can see, Cepha has gone ahead and gotten Tier 2 veterancy on his infantry squads. So those rifles are really going to need bars to be able to stay in the firefight. A mine goes off over here. Wow, way back in friendly territory, damaging those minesweeper engineers pretty harshly. Cepha's now pushing the other side of the map. Spots that Sherman very early, hits it with double Shrek Grenadiers as soon as it comes out of the base, and continuing to keep the pressure on. He's just going to leave those double Shrek Grenadiers right there and almost take out that Sherman the second it comes out to the battlefield. Oh my goodness.
Put her in gear.
One alone. Oh my goodness. Down goes that Pioneer, sniped like a womp rat from a T-16 by that M8. And Puma's fallen back right now as the Sherman pushes up. No anti-vehicle Grenadiers on the field. Of course, that pack is out here. Sturm Armory pumping away. Building something else. Or actually, looks like... Nope, there it goes. It is, in fact, building another something. I'd be willing to bet it's a Stug. And really, I mean, that hit by the Grenadiers made a huge impact on this Sherman. This was a very quick Sherman. And had it been able to just rush out as soon as it hit the field, it could have probably at least taken out one of these Pumas, put some pressure on the pack, if nothing else, along with this M8, and just push the Wehrmacht off the field here for a couple minutes. But now, Ceph's bought himself just enough time to get up his Sturm Army, probably get the Stug out before that Sherman gets repaired and battle-readied once again. So those double Shrek Grenadiers really pulling their weight so far. Right now, though, Macaroni has been doing a good job holding map. He's got the VP advantage here. Has been keeping his side of the map, but right now doesn't have any vet on any of his infantry squads. Has another sniper out on the field here. Engineers putting up some mines around the map. But without any vet and without bars, these rifles are going to start having a very difficult time holding their own against this Wehrmacht infantry.
Ready for orders.
Spotting some landmines, those sweepers are finally going to be able to stop, hopefully, that manpower bleed and all those injuries caused by the Wehrmacht mines. Boy, the mines in that first half of the game were really brutal. Taking out snipers, taking out tons of riflemen. Really nice mine placement by Cepha. Macaroni needed that minesweeper a bit sooner, and he would have been able to achieve some of those earlier flanks that he was going for. Pack 38 opening up on the Sherman. Sherman has to fall back. Stug in good position right now as well. It could probably start pushing that Sherman if the pack gets another shot or two off. Engineers moving in on the the Grenadiers along with the M8 right now, picking up a Stripe Vet as it takes out another model. And it looks like we're going to have an MG bunker set up in the middle VP here as Pyos place another mine right in front of that building. Always a good spot to put mines on the entrance of popular garrisons. Oh no, this M8 in a lot of trouble, took a Faust to the rear, and now that Sherman misses it, that Stug misses its shot, moving in flaming, trying to go for the kill on this M8. M8's trying to get away. Will the Stug get off another shot? It misses again, and the M8 is going to escape just barely. And oh my goodness, here comes the cavalry. A second Sherman's now on the field for Macaroni to put some pressure on this Stug. Looks like those Flamer engineers move in on that garrison. They hit the mine, but they're hanging out anyways. Gonna start flaming away at that MG bunker that's watching the center VP. They realize they need to get out of there, though. Pop out. Sherman's pounding away at some Volks Grenadiers on this side of the map. 3 cap for Mr. Cepha, evening out those VPs and starting to take the lead here. These two Shermans are going to be very useful, but he's going to have to start being careful at this point in the game. There's a second Pack 38 now on the field, and Cepha's just got a little bit of everything. It's just kind of that beautiful combined arms composition that you want to see in Company of Heroes. He's got a pair of packs that can really watch between them, all three of the VPs. This one can kind of just pivot and look north if necessary. There's a Stug on the field as some mobile anti-armor. And the infantry of Macaroni really isn't going to be able to push in on any of these anti-tank guns with both of these Pumas hanging back here. So hopefully we'll be seeing some bars on these rifles soon, really help them start getting some vet here. In the meantime, Engineers doing some quick patchwork on the allied vehicles, while Cepha kind of just has his swath of the map going right across all three VPs here and gaining himself some solid VP lead. But Cepha, I think, really is set up nice right now. It's going to be very difficult for those two Shermans to have a solid impact on the field. If they had pushed a little sooner and managed to get out here at a reasonable time, it would have been great, but Cepha reacted quickly, stunned the one Sherman into submission at the beginning, and now is ready with a pair of packs and plenty of vetted up infantry at this point to deal with the Americans. Puma's taking a couple shots, and pack opening up on the Sherman once again. Stugs moving into position, a second Wehrmacht bunker going down here. Further back, I'm not sure what the point of that second one, maybe a medic bunker. We'll have to see what that goes for. Rifles taking some fire from those Pumas. Those Pumas are really just going to be able to boss those rifles around wherever they show up. And the Shermans can't even really move in on them too easily because of those anti-tank guns. So Cepha's in a great position, really initiating that Wehrmacht kind of lockdown play that we see so very often. And that's kind of really cool how the game is designed to really reflect how the war was fought. It's like the Americans are moving in on the already established Wehrmacht position. So the Wehrmacht are obviously kind of designed to be more defensive, more tanky, more able to lock down points and then force the Americans to push in and steal that territory back. Macaroni's kind of not sure what to do, I think, right now. He's trying to poke and prod and figure out how to push these positions. He's got both Shermans over here now. The pack's moving back. He probably wants to try to reveal that pack with the rifles and maybe get it to take a shot so the sniper and rifles can finish it off. AT gun coming out for Macaroni right now. And all the action's really happening on this side of the map. The Pumas, the Stugs, the Shermans, everything's over here right now. I'm waiting for one player or another to make a committed push right here. But both sides kind of have the counters necessary. Look at the Pumas. I think they're just trying to bait those Shermans in. He's putting the Pumas way out there and just wants them to come back, take a shot from the pack and the Stug. He's got the double Shrek Grenadiers waiting back there. But Macaroni's not taking the bait at all. He's keeping those Shermans back. He knows he needs those Shermans to really stay in the game at this point. He's got the sniper way up there, kind of scouting, using him as some forward recon right there. And it looks like we've got that 57 starting to take a couple shots at that Stug. American sniper replacing his brother, now opening up, taking some shots, picking off some Grenadiers and Valks here and there. M8 armored cars back on the field after so narrowly avoiding escape earlier in the game. And we've got the Calliope unlocked here for Mr. Macaroni, so I'm sure as soon as you get the manpower, we'll be seeing that. And I'm always excited to see Armored Company, because Armored Company means we're going to be seeing lots of tanks. Those Shermans with their long barrels now going to be a major threat to any of the Axis vehicles. The pack goes down and the Shermans recognize the opportunity. They're going to start peeking around these hedgerows, opening up on the Axis vehicles. Wehrmacht moving their second pack onto the field. But these two Shermans just not quite sure where to engage yet. Cepha, recognizing the Americans' hesitation, starts pushing in on the left side of the map here. Rifles are moving in to engage, but them on their own, I think, will actually lose against these Vet 2 Volk's Grenadiers.
Taking casualties.
Oh my goodness, we've got a firestorm back here. Takes out the AT gun. And possibly something else. I think maybe, yeah, the Flamer engineers may have died right there as well. And oh my gosh, we have a Panther on the field. The big mean Panther crushing those hedgerows with its heavy, heavy treads. Oh my goodness, we just saw Allied War Machine activated just in the nick of time to save that Sherman. Second Sherman manages to completely destroy the vehicle of the first pack. Takes out the infantry and the vehicle itself. It's now just going to sit up there, wait to get reinforced by Allied War Machine. It had a Stripe Yvette, but that's the only problem with Allied War Machine. You have to be very thoughtful when you use it. Because if you have some vetted up Shermans, you really don't want to be losing those for the sake of Allied War Machine. But both of those Shermans do come back on the field, so no real loss there except for a pile of munitions. You managed to take out one of the packs, which is very good. But with this nasty Tier 4 Panther, we see all the Wehrmacht buildings are on the field now. Panther's coming out with a vengeance, really going to be threatening these Shermans. It's one of the biggest, baddest tanks in the game. Puma trying to take out some more rifles. I think, yeah, 3 rifles still on the field. Nothing else lost. MG hanging out up top. Cepha using that to defend these VPs. Sniper's going to manage to take this out, I think, unless Cepha gets it out of there right now. Oh no, I thought it was going to get ready to pack up, but maybe Cepha's not paying attention. Down it goes. But with these 2 Pumas here, there's no vehicles over here at all. MH trying to get into position. AT gun moving in. Sherman's going to take out that center bunker right there. 194 to 361. M8 might actually be able to take out one of these Pumas. These rifles need to fall back right now. They're going to go down to these Pumas if they're not careful. One Puma does go down. Double Shrek Grenadiers moving in on this armored car, and the Panther as well. It needs to get the heck out of there. It's backing up. It's got 2 stripes of it now. Allied War Machine was activated. I'm not sure. Are the Shermans in? The Shermans aren't even in the fight. I'm not sure if Allied War Machine is worth it just for that M8.
Armored operations.
If he was going to activate that, he really should have just thrown these Shermans in there to try to put some pressure on that Panther and the remaining Puma. There aren't any Pack 38s over here at all. Calliope Barrage going down. Double damaged engine. The double D going down as both Shermans hit a mine. Calliope Barrage defending that VP over there. Sherman's both retreating now in a bad spot after both activating that Wehrmacht mine, taking damaged engines on both vehicles. Very unfortunate. Puma hits a mine as well, though, and gets a damaged engine. Oh my gosh, I hear a V1 coming in somewhere. Where's it gonna hit? It's gotta be up here, I guess. I'm not... Oh my goodness, it just destroyed Cepha's own Panther. I guess he was trying to take out the AT gun, and then I don't know what he was doing with moving his Panther into the range of where he clicked on that V1. Maybe the V1 just kind of misfired. I don't know what happened there. Oh my goodness. Sherman takes out the second Puma.
Germans are seizing territory.
M8 went, or is that a Sherman that went down? One of the Shermans went down as well. To the Stug. Look at this Puma just sitting out of control, still opening up on the rifles. Sometimes that out of control sequence lasts so long, and the zombie Puma's just continuing to try to pick off rifles here. Sticky goes down, damages or destroys the engine on that Stug. That Sherman needs to move in and finish it off. Rifles moving in against a huge infantry pile over here. Main gun destroyed on the Stug. Will it go down? The Sherman needs to finish that thing off. Calliope going down right in the middle of all the Wehrmacht infantry. Rockets falling from the sky, hitting that pack, hitting the Wehrmacht Grenadiers and Volks, but they managed to move forward, taking a couple casualties, but just move out from under the Calliope Barrage. Sherman in lots of danger right now. These Grenadiers just trying to get a Shrek shot in on this wounded Sherman in the rear armor. It just can't quite do it. The sniper finishes one of the models off, and the final one is forced to retreat for fear of losing the squad. I don't think it actually dropped one of its Shreks at all. So let's take inventory here. What a lot just died. Both Pumas went down, the Stug went down, the Panther went down, one Sherman died. The M8 is still on the field, being relegated to capping duty with all this dangerous Wehrmacht anti-vehicle on the field. So all things considered, I think that was a good engagement for Macaroni. Did he lose? He didn't lose any of his rifles. His sniper's up to Vet 2. Rifles still with no bars, though. He needs... I know he's been saving up fuel for his vehicles, but at this point, his rifles need bars to really compete at all. They're unvetted, unbarred. And I know I've been saying it, but I feel like they just need those weaponries to just be able to compete with this vetted up Wehrmacht infantry blob. There's 3 Volks, 1 squad of Grenadiers, and only 3 rifles. So with being on the backside of both
Front shifting. Enemy standard 300 points.
Both the count of infantry and the veterancy and, you know, the elite nature of your infantry, you're not going to be able to win any of the straight-up infantry engagements. Those Grenadiers scaring off that Greyhound, which is trying to harass the pair of Pios, capping the eastern side of the map. Rifles capping under MG fire right here. And oh my goodness, MG actually takes out the squad in 2 quick bursts. That's another rifle squad down. 2 American snipers on the field, 2 squads of rifles. And that's really going to put Macaroni on the back foot as far as infantry. Another Panther's out on the field. This pack's going to have to be very careful. Cepha's going to have to keep relocating that after it opens fire, because you know Macaroni's just going to be sitting around with that Calliope, waiting for that pack to reveal itself, and as soon as it does, it's going to take a barrage to the face. Greyhound still trying to take out some Pios. Might actually get this squad if they're not careful. Misses the snipe, falling back. I hear another Calliope going off up top. Manages to keep the Wehrmacht from capping the point. That's about all it does, though. Didn't do too much damage otherwise. We've got field repairs and everything on the field, so all it's going to take is 5 CPs, 3 more CPs, and we'll be seeing the Pershing unlocked. Another big hit from those Shrek'd up Grenadiers, threatening
Germans are seizing territory.
that M8. And oh my goodness, the Sherman's actually in a bad spot. The Grenadiers retreat. Oh, why did they retreat? I thought those Grenadiers were actually going to come in and finish off the Sherman. But they retreated for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. I think Macaroni's plan with these double snipers is just to be able to decrew packs as soon as they show themselves. He's really counting on his cavalry right here, these 2 Shermans, to keep him in the game. So I think what he wants to do is get that pack to reveal itself and use the double snipers to just outright kill the squad. Of course, once 2 models of a setup team go down of those anti-tank guns, the last one just falls over and dies, just flops. All 3 Volks Grenadiers on this side of the map. Cepha using his infantry to kind of blob up and push over there. And oh my gosh, I think I hear the distinctive candor of, yes, a Neville Warfare on the field. And it's firing on the AT gun. AT gun does not have the advantage of being able to camouflage itself, so as soon as the Wehrmacht player spots it, you can bet there's going to be Neville Warfares, and oh my goodness, a reactionary artillery strike, reciprocating in kind, a rifle, or sorry, a Calliope barrage, rifle barrage. Rifles don't have artillery, I don't think. Calliope hitting that Neville Warfare and actually taken a little chunk off of its vehicle HP. I don't think it did any damage to the infantry themselves. A sticky bomb going down on that Panther. The Sherman's hanging out on this side of the map. 2 Shermans, a Calliope, and an M8. Lots of allied vehicle force right here. MG watching the cutoff over here. Cepha managed to come in and pretty much get the cutoff and even decap and capture for himself most of the eastern part of the map. Really cutting off Macaroni's income, and this heavy munitions right now is going to be a huge deal because right now Macaroni's kind of going to be depending on, I feel, his allied war machine to keep these tanks on the field as he tries to pick off the Axis armor. More naval warfare shells falling on the AT guns, constantly bombarding each other now at this point in the game. Naval warfare and Calliope both pounding away at either side's position. M8's doing a good job, still staying on the field, still getting kills. Calliope hanging out just on the far side of these hedgerows right here, staying as close as it can so it can really drop the concentrated barrages. Of course, the further out it fires, the more spread out those barrages will be. So he's trying to keep it as far up as possible, but still under cover of the hedgerows and able to fall back out of range of any sort of anti-vehicle fire if it comes down to that. 194 to 239, it's still anyone's game. Panthers on the field getting some more vet as time goes on. That's the problem with these longer games, is that the longer the game goes on, the stronger the Wehrmacht player is going to get. He's just going to keep purchasing that vet. His infantry is going to get stronger. His tanks are going to get stronger. And if you aren't getting kills and constantly racking up vet on your own forces, then you're just going to start falling more and more behind. Sniper's gaining some stripes of vet right there. And is that another V1 I hear? I thought I heard another V1, but I'm not. There it goes! Taking out a Sherman. There's just one Sherman left. I don't think the war machine went off yet. He didn't even have the munitions, to activate that ability. He had just used field repair to try to fix up this Sherman. And Cepha probably recognized that and decided all he needs to do right now is drop a V1, and he dropped it kind of right between all 3 of these, which kind of made Macaroni decide whether he's going to try to save the Sherman, the Calliope, or the AT gun, and the Sherman went down. Twin Panthers now moving in. What are we watching? Panzer Elite player right here? We've got the Sherman, or the Panther battle group, taking out the Sherman. That's both Shermans down for Macaroni, and he's in a bad spot right now, with 2 Panthers on the field and really not much anti-vehicle of his own. He does still have the AT gun, I think, or did that go down as well? That did get decrewed right there by the Grenadiers. 2 snipers hanging out up here, getting close to these Grenadiers. They may as well fire right now, though, and take out 2 of them. With 2 snipers, he'll be able to scare off these Grenadiers just about instantly. The second sniper actually doesn't take a shot for some reason. It might be on hold fire. MH trying to get out from these Panthers, but I don't think it's going to happen. It just got a damaged engine from the Pack. Pack nails it one more time, and the Panthers moving in for the kill. Point blank range, going to inject that shell right into the rear, and down goes the M8. 4 CPs for Macaroni. He only needs to hold out a bit longer, and he's going to be able to get himself a Pershing on the field. However, even a Pershing against these 2 Panthers might be in a bit of a tough position to do anything. Panthers moving right in on the Calliope. Engineers trying to heal it up while the AT gun moves into position, but I'm not sure the Calliope is going to be able to hold up for that long. Those Panther shots are continuing to penetrate and smash that Calliope. The AT gun got decrewed, and I think this Calliope is going to go down. And that's just going to be another crippling loss for Macaroni. It's trying to get around the hedgerows, but of course the Panther just moves in, crushes the hedgerows, and finishes it off. Another sticky going down. He's going to have to be careful where he uses those stickies, because he does need to try to keep his munitions stocked up so he can use his field repairs and his allied war machine abilities. He needs to get his cutoff back. This cutoff's been in the hands of Cepha now for quite a while, and he's just got no real income. He's got some points on the western side of the map, but those are all the low points. He needs to get the medium and highs that are on this side of the map. This Panther might be in trouble. These AT guns need to turn around and open fire, but oh my goodness, instantly decrewed again. These Panthers are just a nightmare right now for the American player. AT guns are trying to do what they can, but they're just not able to hold anything right now. Oh, and here comes the Pershing. The Pershing is unlocked and it's on the field. Oh, it is such a nice looking tank. Look at that thing. I don't know. It kind of looks like an angry beetle or something. I don't know. It just has an interesting profile. And it's coming in for the kill on this Panther. Panther's got 2 stripes of vet right now. Pershing's out here and it's mad. Panther's turning around, gonna try to hope that it can just keep deflecting Pershing shots as its brother comes in to help it out. Main gun is destroyed, and the Pershing's actually backing off. It needs to finish off that Panther if it escapes. Oh my goodness, please don't let that Panther get away, Macaroni. The Pershing's actually shooting at the wrong tank now. Oh my goodness, I think this Panther's going to live to fight another day. Triple vet sniper goes down! Oh my goodness.
We're losing a munitions sector.
Oh, he needed to keep those 2 snipers to really keep pressure on the Wehrmacht infantry.
Time to kill some Krauts.
Oh no, this is a bad situation for Macaroni. He's finally got bars on his rifles, but none of his rifles are vetted up at all. He's down to just the 2 squads, hasn't gotten any more rifles on the field after losing those initial 2. And now with sitting on so few vehicles, I'm not sure he's going to be able to stay in this game. The VPs are still even up, but he's going to have to really be careful with this Pershing to make any sort of impact on the field. More Neville Warfare shells falling on the AT gun, almost taking out that sniper. He dives out from under one of the shots, but still taking some fire damage right there. Oh my goodness. There goes part of a Grenadier taking a full-on shell from that Pershing. Some Knights crossholders on the eastern side of the map, scaring off the rifles that were trying to cut back some territory for the American side. And the Panzer Command building yet another vehicle, it looks like, with 2 Panthers already out on the field. I don't know, maybe an Ostwind. Although there's really not much in the ways of infantry threats, so he might be bringing another Panther or Panzer IV on the field here. Yes, that's what it is. It's a 3rd Panther. Oh dear. Pershing moving over. Gonna start doing some damage. Gonna try to start picking off some infantry and getting some vet on itself. Want to get that Pershing vetted up. Once that thing gets vetted, it's just a tank-destroying machine. I love seeing Pershings on the field, and I don't get to see them often. As I mentioned earlier, we haven't been seeing much Armor Company at all in Sunday Night Fights. And at least in the games that were casted. I haven't watched too many of the qualification tournament games. More Never Warfare shells falling. Not really connecting with anything, just trying to test and see if that AT gun is still hanging out where it was. Macaroni's been doing a good job of keeping that thing moving around. Both players need to do that, or I guess Cepha not as much anymore now that the Calliope is down. One AT gun actually falling back to heal up and reinforce. 127 to 160. Pershing hanging out with an AT gun of its own to try to deter these Panthers. MG getting caught out of position with these barred up rifles. Nice crossholders now moving in though, trying to do some damage. They will probably most certainly win against these barred up rifles. But there's a big push coming in from Cepha. Cepha knows this Pershing's out here and wants to take it out. Gonna start grabbing some VPs while his Panthers push in. Dropping another Firestorm, trying to eliminate that AT gun. And wow, those rifles actually gained themselves another stripe of vet and actually took out 2 of those Knights crossholders. Panthers are moving in, and oh my goodness, they are vet 3 now. 3 Panthers, 3 stripes of vet. That's 9 stripes right there for you, and this Pershing isn't going to be able to deal with it. It's trying to retreat, but it's taking huge hits. Grenadiers with their Shrek standing behind it too. There's no escape for this thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, and down it goes. It's looking dismal for Macaroni. Oh, he's about to taste the acrid taste of defeat. Oh dear. 121 to 154, and I don't think there's any way he's coming back. He does manage to take out one of those triple vet Panthers, but oh, it's looking brutal after losing. Oh, that was a red explosion. Panthers just completely destroyed some poor rifleman. Oh my goodness. Neville Warfare continuing to fire somewhere. I hear it distinctively firing, but I don't know where it's landing. Oh, back here somewhere. Very spread out volleys at maximum range. But 103 to 154, all 3 points in Cepha's hands, and oh my goodness, 3 Panthers.
We're down to 100
How often
points.
do you see that in a one-on-one game? How often do you see Panthers at all in one-on-one games as far as that goes, let alone 3 of them? Like I said, I feel like I'm watching a Panzer Elite game and they're just hitting that Panther battle group button over and over again. Oh no, but I think that might be it for our friend Macaroni.
Look alive.
Engineers trying to decap and buy some time,
57 mil at your service.
but there is just no munitions to hit
Losing ground out there.
the Allied war machine. All of his Shermans have gone down. Finally, some Vet 3 rifles on the field at least, but I think that's going to be a bit too little too late. He lost one of his snipers, lost a couple of his rifles, and just all of the vehicles are down.
Men are formed up, sir.
And I don't think he's going to be getting any of these VPs back anytime soon.
Ready for the crowds.
Cepha did a great job of just isolating and annihilating all of the Allied armor throughout this game. Had a great stand in Tier 2, in Tier 3 once he got out that Stug and those Pumas. Managed to really start taking the map back and cutting off Macaroni's resources throughout the game. Neville Warfare still falling from the sky. Panthers still obliterating riflemen as these last VPs start to tick away. I don't like to call the game early, but I'd be willing to bet that there's nothing that Macaroni can do at this point to get back in this one. Calliope's on the field, but there's really no concentrated AT on anywhere. V1 hitting once again. That's the third V1 we've seen. And there's a King Tiger on the field as well from Seth. So yeah, there's just nowhere near the amount of AT. You need an entire AT army to deal with a King Tiger and 2 Panthers at this point in the game. Engineers valiantly trying to cap the point here in the center. Oh my goodness. Calliope barrage is going down. Despite this game being over, Macaroni's still doing everything in his power to try to put the pressure on Cepha, but I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. 20 points left. He's trying to get the VPs, has 2 of them whited out. Rifles taking tons of fire, trying to beat up these Knights Crossholders. Vet 3 very low on health, but has them pinned with some suppression fire. King Tiger's showing up right now. Actually misfires right there and doesn't hit the rifles at all. Now turning its giant cannon to the AT gun. And the center points get capped back once again. King Tiger's out here with the damage engine taking lots of fire from AT guns, but he doesn't really care. He knows the game's done. It's 7 points with a 2-0 cap against his friend. Oh no! Sniper goes down to the burning fire of the Neville Warfare. GG from Burning Macaroni, and that's gonna be the game. Oh my goodness, what a game it was too. Wow. All those Panthers, all those Shermans, a Pershing and a King Tiger at the end. And oh no, this is an unfortunate explosion. Oh, look at this poor rifleman. Oh dear, he's got 1 arm still. That's good. He does have 1 arm, so he's not going to be a quadriplegic. But oh, that's a bad red explosion. That Panther just sniping out some more rifles. Those triple vet Panthers, so very nasty. But wow, I love tank battles, and that's all this game was just tons and tons of tank battles. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was, of course, from the qualification tournament, the final one from Sunday Night Fights. Go check that out. Ame Poli's iFunk and his crew do a great job. I'll, of course, put a link of the description And this is Red-Rupee. I'll be catching you guys next time.